is up, everybody? This is JT Sports, and I'm here with another video, and I'm here with NFL news that we have today. The day that this video is being recorded is on July 25th, and we're going to be talking about a lot of interesting news going around the NFL as training camp has officially began today. So the first news we're going to be talking about is Ezekiel Elliott and Michael Thomas. They will not be attending NFL training camp. Then we're going to be talking about Le'Veon Bell, what he said and what his expectations are with the New York Jets. And we're going to be talking about Mike Daniels is visiting with an NFL team. So make sure to stick around and watch the whole entire video so you're up to date with everything that's going on in the NFL. And also make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, upload NFL videos and NFL content as well. And also make sure to follow me on Instagram. The link to my Instagram page is down in the description and the comment section down below. And also, if you want to donate and help support the channel, you can donate to my Cash App and my Patreon, which is also down in the description down below. So the first news that we have today is that a couple of rookies have finally signed their rookie deals. The 49ers signed their two rookies, Nick Bosa and Deebo Samuel. Nick Bosa signed a 4-year deal worth $33.5 million. Deebo Samuel also signed another deal with the San Francisco 49ers. It's a 4-year deal. The exact numbers aren't mentioned, but it's rumored to be somewhere around $7.5 million. And Quinnen Williams has also signed his deal with the New York Jets as well. He signed the 4-year deal, $32.5 million, and he's going to be getting $21.5 million of that up front. So interesting news for these rookies. Now it's going to be pretty interesting to watch how these rookies perform in their rookie seasons. If you guys didn't watch my channel earlier on when I was doing my 7-round mock draft for the San Francisco 49ers, I actually predicted that the San Francisco 49ers would take Nick Bosa and Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is an electric wide receiver. He can do a lot of things, was one of the best players to play for that South Carolina football program. And Nick Bosa, we already know what he is, very explosive pass rusher. And Quinnen Williams got taken third overall by the New York Jets. I thought they would end up taking Josh Allen, but Quinnen Williams reminds a lot of people of Aaron Donald. So it's going to be interesting seeing how these three rookies perform this season for the respective teams. Next up, Ezekiel Elliott and Michael Thomas will not attend training camp, or they are not at camp right now. So Ezekiel Elliott and Michael Thomas are both getting ready to sit out a training camp until they strike some new deals. So Ezekiel Elliott was not on the Dallas Cowboys plan to attend their training camp. There is still a chance that Ezekiel Elliott could fly himself out to the Dallas Cowboys training camp, which is currently taking place in Oxnard, which is a city that is in California, and it's a little bit of miles away from Los Angeles. Now, Ezekiel Elliott is due to make $3.9 million this season, and he will make $9.1 million in 2020. Now, if Ezekiel Elliott doesn't attend the Dallas Cowboys training camp, the Dallas Cowboys can fine him $4,000 for every day that he isn't present at training camp. So Ezekiel Elliott is a guy who wants to get paid. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL. And the Dallas Cowboys are currently prioritizing Dak Prescott over everything. They want to get Dak Prescott a deal before they try to strike deals with Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott. Even though Ezekiel Elliott is the best player on the Dallas Cowboys offensive side of the ball, but the Dallas Cowboys want to get Dak Prescott under contract since Dak Prescott's contract would not go into 2020. Unlike Ezekiel Elliott, he still has a year of his contract left, which goes into 2020. Now, Michael Thomas is holding out a training camp and will not report until he gets a new deal. The Saints can also fine Michael Thomas $40,000 for every day that he isn't at their training camp. He is also in the final year of his current deal and recently turned down New Orleans Saints' recent offer, which was rumored to be between $18 and $19 million, but Michael Thomas wants to get paid $20 million yearly. This deal will also impact wide receiver Julio Jones' deal as well if Michael Thomas does indeed become the highest paid receiver in all of football, which is currently held to Odell Beckham. Now, Michael Thomas led the NFL in receptions last season with 125 and also had 405 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns as well. So it's going to be interesting seeing if these two guys are able to get some contract extensions worked out or a deal worked out, or they end up attending training camp anyway. Because I mean, I know they're holding out trying to get new deals, but is it worth it losing $40,000 for every day you don't attend training camp? That adds up to a lot of money. So let's say if these two guys end up missing 10 days of training camp, that means they ended up losing $400,000. So that is a really, really hefty fine to pay for missing training camp. So I don't know how these contract situations are going to end up holding up. Michael Thomas wants to become one of the highest paid receivers in all of the NFL. And at this point, you really can't argue and say that he doesn't deserve it, because he definitely deserves to be in that conversation. I mean, the last couple of seasons, Michael Thomas has been a very good wide receiver, one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. And I mean, last season, he just went bazonkers. He had 125 receptions, which led the NFL, and 1,405 receiving yards. He's also been to a couple of Pro Bowls as well. So he is definitely one of the better wide receivers in the NFL, and he wants to get paid like one. We already know the impact that Ezekiel Elliott has on this Dallas Cowboys offense. So we're also going to be talking about some other notable players who are not at training camp for the respective teams. We already talked about halfback Ezekiel Elliott and wide receiver Michael Thomas. Defensive end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Yannick Ngakoue is also not at their training camp. He's trying to get a new deal as well. Offensive tackle for the Washington Redskins, Trent Williams, also isn't at training camp. And halfback Melvin Gordon is also not at training camp for the LA Chargers, as he wants a new deal as well. And we already talked, and most of you guys already know about the whole Melvin Gordon situation. He either wants a new contract or he wants the LA Chargers to trade him if they don't want to give him a new contract. And Melvin Gordon at this point is elite halfback, but he's not on the top of the elite halfback board. He's elite, but he's probably down on the ladder of the elite halfbacks. He's probably around 7 or 8. He's still pretty good. He does help this LA Chargers offense out a lot with what he's able to do, and it's going to be interesting seeing if the LA Chargers and Melvin Gordon are going to be able to get a deal worked out, which I believe that they will. I really don't see LA parting ways with Melvin Gordon. I don't really think Melvin Gordon wants to get traded away from the LA Chargers, because let's face it, it's Los Angeles. I mean, who doesn't love Los Angeles? It's one of the best cities in all of the United States. So I have a pretty good speculation that those two, Melvin Gordon and the LA Chargers organization, will end up getting a deal done. Also, Trent Williams as well. Trent Williams is one of the best offensive tackles in all of the NFL. And the Jacksonville Jaguars and Yannick Ngakoue, that's going to be pretty interesting, because the Jacksonville Jaguars organization, when it comes to giving these players contract, they have been pretty hesitant. We also see Jalen Ramsey. He's also wants another contract as well. He wants to get paid like one of the best cornerbacks in all the NFL. So it's going to be interesting seeing if these players are able to get some deals done. Now, Le'Veon Bell reportedly said earlier that he told reporters that he's ready to get 500 touches this season and help this New York Jets offense. Now, Le'Veon Bell is a guy who took a gamble last season, didn't play all of 2018, and according to certain reports, that Le'Veon Bell is in great shape. He has really did pretty well for the New York Jets this offseason. So it's going to be pretty interesting seeing how Le'Veon Bell looks coming into this season, since he hasn't played in a professional football game for nearly a year since he sat out all of 2018. And people are also wondering what kind of player are the New York Jets getting? Are they getting an all-pro player that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or are they getting a good halfback but not the same player that he was? And a lot of people are questioning how big of a workload are the New York Jets going to try to throw on Le'Veon Bell, because we know halfbacks don't really have a long lifespan in the NFL, and Le'Veon Bell is a guy who is already 10th amongst active players in the NFL when it comes to touches. He already has over 1,000, so we already have to take into account to the workload that he has already had and the few seasons that he's been in the NFL. So it's going to be interesting seeing how the New York Jets use Le'Veon Bell and how many touches and carries is he going to end up getting this season, because you still want to be able to keep him fresh. They did sign him to a pretty big deal and free agency this offseason. So it's going to be interesting watching how Le'Veon Bell and the New York Jets manage his workload throughout the season. But he should help improve this New York Jets offense, because the last couple of seasons they struggled to find consistency at the halfback position. next up, we have some news concerning Mike Daniels. Now, Mike Daniels, according to Ian Rappert, is reportedly visiting the Cleveland Browns, and this doesn't come as a surprise to anybody, as the Cleveland Browns went after Gerald McCoy this offseason when he got released by Tampa. He ended up signing with the Carolina Panthers. So it's going to be interesting seeing if Mike Daniels is able to sign with the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns general manager John Dorsey has had a great offseason for the Cleveland Browns. Traded for Odell Beckham, got Olivier Vernon. Very great offseason for the Cleveland Browns. And if they're able to get Mike Daniels, then it's just going to be icing on top of the cake, as people say, for the Cleveland Browns, because Mike Daniels, although he's 30 years old, is still a very good defensive lineman. He's very good getting after the pass rush as well. So it'll be interesting seeing him on that Cleveland Browns defense with guys like Myles Garrett, Olivier Vernon, and I really want to see it happen. And this is coming from a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I think the Cleveland Browns could end up being one of the most talented teams that we have seen on paper in the last couple of seasons. I mean, this Cleveland Browns team, if they get Mike Daniels, they will be stacked, and they're already stacked. So I really am interested in seeing how this ends up happening. And Mike Daniels was a guy who got released by the Green Bay Packers, which came as a surprise to everybody. Even Aaron Rodgers said that he was surprised. So really interested in seeing if he ends up signing with the Cleveland Browns in free agency. And for our last story of the day, Kevin Byard got a huge contract by the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans made him the highest paid safety in the NFL. They signed to a 5-year deal worth $70.5 million, with $31 million of that guaranteed. And over the last 3 seasons, Kevin Byard has led the NFL in interceptions from that safety position over the last 3 seasons. No safety in the NFL over the last 3 seasons has more interceptions than Kevin Byard, which is well deserved. He is one of the best all around safeties in the NFL. So this is it for this video. Keeping you guys up to date with some NFL news, giving you guys some updates, letting you guys know what's happening around the league. Let me know what you guys think about all of these stories down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And also make sure to check out these two other videos as well. And thanks for watching.